What up, guys? I'm back now. I know you missed me, but I've been really busy for the past 2 weeks. Vegas, finals, and I'll be graduating tomorrow, or rather, at least the commencement ceremony is tomorrow. So I wanted to go ahead and get in a review today for you guys, kind of cut one out, and then continue on like the next, or maybe next week. Well, whatever. We'll see how it goes. But today we'll be looking at the flagship pomade company, the Insubmersible. So this is like a water-based pomade. It's one of the ones that really have risen from like home brewers after like the introduction of Old Dude's water-based. Like that product has led on to a myriad of different other products that have appeared now on the market, and these are one of them who are like a water-based pomade, not a gel pomade. Don't harden up or still have this like waxy, unique, strange like consistency to them. And so we'll go ahead and start off by looking at the pomade jar and going from there. So this is flagship pomade company, the Insubmersible. Nice burn like labeling, very like large pixelated image on purpose. Really flows together well. And then on the back you have ingredients, same style, same like type of design work and stuff like that. On the face, this is a water-based, soy-free, vegan, and the original hold. 4-ounce glass jar with a metal lid. Original hold. That doesn't really tell us much about the hold. Whether it's like light, medium, heavy, we really don't know. All we really know is that relative to the company's line, this is like a medium, or like the original one. And then any other version will kind of be a variation on this original hold, relative to this original hold at it. And so, opening it up, you also see the product inside, which has a consistency and color similar to Old Dude's water base, but you can tell right away it looks a little bit drier and thicker, and we'll really see that in the performance later on. So let's go ahead and start using it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys on this one. When I first opened up this jar, I cannot do the smell. It's like a super musty, like really deep, kind of organic-y. I don't mean organic as in like Whole Foods or something, but like organic as in like things with an expiration date. And like it just has a really deep, musty smell. And I know some people might like get off to it, but like I have a background in oil painting. Like we use these tubes, and they're basically safflower oil based. And like that oil sits in the tube for a really long time, and so it has a really distinct like organic musty smell when you open it, and like that's immediately what came to mind. And I can't do the smell, like just period. But let's go ahead and go on with actually using the product, because like that's really where this product excels in. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So by looks, it looks, as I said before, like a thicker, drier, waxier version of Old Dude's water base, and it kind of performs as such. When you scoop it out, it's definitely thicker. It has that strange texture that we remember from like Old Dude's water base. It has like a interesting like grainy texture to it, or just by appearance. But of course, smearing in the hands isn't like that. It smears really easily, and this is a pretty like waxy pomade. You'll see me use 2 scoops today, because once it gets to the third one, I get that like a lot of hold, but it's really discomforting for me. So I'm gonna stick with 2 today. Like even though it's really waxy, application is still like reasonable. Like you will feel the grip right away. This is kind of what I imagined like Rust and Supreme Hold to be more like. Definitely though, we're starting to see 2 categories of these water-based pomades. The Old Dude's water-based, like grainy, strange texture to it, and then we have the Crystal Lake Rustin like type of like really smooth, but definitely on the lighter side. Or maybe I'm going into 3 light scoops. That's probably the better way to do this. But it has a really good strength to weight ratio, but it is really heavy and sticky thanks to that wax. So you really want to be conscious of how much you're putting in, and depending on your hair type, you want to be like smart about that. You don't want to go in this thing blind, or you'll just end up like being a little like pissed off about like how much it's hurting to style your hair and stuff like that. Compared to the other water-based pomades, it's definitely also on like the drier side. Feels a lot like kind of, what does this remind me of? There's a terrible product, American Gentleman Soap Company, or American Soap, or whatever. It was some company that they had like a super heavy hold, and it was basically like using a stick of candle. So obviously application is really different from that, but still this idea of this like really dry waxiness like reminds me of that one. Definitely this one's much better than that product. Like, I do have like the scent really floating around me right now. I'm not a big fan of it, as I like just said before. However, I have noticed that it does go away really quickly, so for me, that's good. If you like the smell though, and you want to hold on to it, then yeah, not as good. Alright, with that done, we'll go ahead, clean up, and then slick everything back. And like, just noticing that right now, the way your hands move through your hair with this product is completely different from like how your comb moves through your hair. Like much easier for some reason, it just slides through. And I'll talk about this later for like any sort of hand combing or endurance type of thing. So it's really easy to comb through, and everything is slicked back, so let's go ahead and start forming like the part. You can also see that like this is like a pretty matte product, not much shine, and the slickness is like kind of like pretty average, slightly below average, but it's kind of just represented by the dryness of the product. We already kind of expect this. And we can already start to kind of see what Wade, the home brewer, wanted to achieve through this product. Kind of how he wanted to basically create something that's like convenient and as like well performing as an Old Dude's water base, but really addresses what many of these other water bases haven't addressed, which is like super strong hold. And we will see whether he actually does successfully address this or not. And so the sides are slicking back like pretty nice, alright. I do have a shorter section here, and it is sticking up slightly, so not perfect, but like still good. Have many worse issues with the other pomades that I've been using this week. Alright, so with the sides slicked back, the part formed, we'll go ahead and start forming like the actual pomp. Alright, so I think that's good enough. We'll go ahead and call it done right there. And this really shows the importance of like applying just only like enough product, especially with the Insubmersible. Because if you apply too much, you start getting that like head wedge look. And it's really important to just apply only as much as you need, or else it'll just start getting too heavy. So we have like a good shaped pomp. We definitely noticed the lack of slickness in this product, and that's really causing a few headaches, just a few stray hairs, and making it a little more prone to like splitting, but that's something we can address with just some finer combing techniques. The sides are like kind of relatively put in their position, but they are still like not as clean as we'd like, or not as clean as they can get. And that's a mixture of like, kind of like my hair length, but also just a lot of like the product, whether a product is slick or not, and also heavy. So what we see right now is a pretty dry, matte, heavy type of product. And I'm actually not gonna be able to come back later today. I mean, it's my graduation weekend. I'm not gonna spend it in front of the camera for you guys, and so I've tried it for like this entire week actually. Luckily, I got it early this week. And I've been being like conscious of this like matter at hand right now. So, endurance. This is a heavier product than the other new water-based pomades we've seen. There's no doubt about that. But the thing is, it has this weird. It doesn't dry like a gel pomade, but it does harden up in almost like a gel pomade. If you have a comb, you can still comb through it. It's not gonna flake away, nothing like that at all. But it does have this strange hardening up that makes hand combing a little difficult later in the day. And for some reason with this one, this doesn't go through easily, but this does. So you really want to keep a comb on you, especially with this product. The restylability, like I said, just with the comb. Hardness, yes. Rinsability, this thing washes out completely. I was actually really surprised. Really waxy product, like definitely on the heavier, on the firm side of things, yet it washes out completely. Real nice. And I mean, overall, it's like pretty comfortable. It's not like an oily pomade at all. I mean, it's a water base, but it doesn't feel too greasy or anything like that. And so, in all honesty, it's not a perfect product. It's not perfect at all. But it is a great product, and it has been the only water-based product right now that can really set weight and kind of say like we can make a heavyweight pomade with this new like water-based type of formula. And so I think it really like leads the way, or rather suggests it's a possibility. So we do have to commend it for that. And overall, it is a good product, and it's like a new one. So we do expect this thing to constantly improve. We do expect to see additions to like the line, and so this is really exciting. I will be keeping an eye out for this like company and see what else they put out for like the next few years. And I actually just remember I actually do have a promo code for you guys for the flagship pomade company as well. So obviously the Pomp, all caps, nothing else. I actually forgot what the discount is, but you can check it on the website. And I actually don't want to say it as well because then it might constantly like change, and so we'll go ahead and go from there. But yes, this has been a review for our flagship pomade company, the Insubmersible. It's a great product, great hold, low slickness, no shine, but it really picks it up in the fact that it's like a nice, good control, heavy hold product. Water based, washes completely out. So other than that, have a good weekend, guys. Probably see you next weekend, hopefully, depending on the schedule. But yes, take care.